So these are the Milwaukee Jobsite earbuds. They've been out for, I don't know, a couple years now maybe. I've had them for a little bit over a year, and I've put them through the paces and used them daily for, like I said, about a year. So I've got, yeah, some pros and cons about these. I, for a long time, was an AirPods user, I guess you would say, and there's definitely things that I like a lot more about this, but there's definitely some things I don't, so yeah, we'll get into those. The first thing that I love about these is the case, actually. The case, I was always losing the small white case. I was always setting down somewhere, losing it, and it's just, it blends in, I don't know, things like that, and the lid pops open a lot. And the thing about these with the snap lid, it just always, they always stay in there, even if I drop this, which I haven't, but if I do, they don't go everywhere. And it's just more robust, and even though it is plastic just like AirPods, but I do actually really like the case. So when you open it up, it has all the functions right here on the back. There's nothing really different about Milwaukee's functions than any other. I know obviously it has spatial awareness, or job site awareness maybe they call it, but other than that there's nothing really different about these functioning wise. It has, you know, obviously calling and music. Obviously you can play music and things like that. So the one negative thing talking about calling is, at least on my pair, from the moment I got them, the first phone call that I took with them on, the other person couldn't hear me, and it's been that way. It's like they can hear two words, then nothing for 30 seconds or nothing at all. So the phone call or the mic on it or something was bad from the beginning, and it wasn't a huge deal to me. I don't make like a ton of phone calls, and it's not that big a deal to take out your headphones and just make the call. So that is one thing though from the beginning, is the call function has not worked. The audio on these, I haven't really noticed a difference. I can't tell, like when I'm working, I'm not focused on music. Like I can hear it, it's in the background, but that's not really a focus of mine, and I don't care a whole lot about bass or this or that. So they sound very, very similar to anything wired or wireless headphone that I've used. And yeah, I like it. I think it sounds good. So sometimes with these earbuds, for mine at least, after, I don't know, maybe 3 months, when I put it back in, it's not charging. So it should light up red or green. You know, if it's charging, it'll light up. And so it's just a little bit off kilter. So if I move it a touch, there it'll go. But it's like, I just want to put it in. You know, I don't want to have to mess with it, make sure those prongs on the back, these little metal, the three little studs there, line up with these three prongs here. And so if I pop it in, you know, even that time, like it just doesn't, I have to mess with it. And then if I'm, one thing is like if I close it here and I set it down hard or something, it'll bump it and it'll move it, and then it'll connect back to my phone, and then the next time I go to it, the right earbud is dead. So that with the charging is really annoying. And I will say I have had that problem with AirPods. Like when I put these back in, you know, it's a similar thing with these. It just happened sooner on the Milwaukee ones. I feel like I'm saying a lot of things that are wrong with this, but the left side, I don't know, maybe 2 months in, 3 months at the most, but it was pretty quick. The left earbud went almost silent. Like I could, even on my phone, I could go and switch the left side to 100%, and it would be the quietest thing ever on the left side, just the left. And so I don't know if it's like the speaker in it or whatever. I can hear, like when I push it to change a function, I can hear it, but music playing or audio just isn't there, and I'm not sure what that is. But so I basically just hear out of one, the right side, and then of course the right side isn't charging properly. So yeah, there's a few little things like that that are just annoying, like the charging, you know, one side not working, the call. Those are all just little things that add up to, you know, making it not worth it to use these. So in the packaging, it comes with both these rubber and these foam tips, and I really like how they have these spots for them back here. So on like a daily basis, I'll just have the rubber tips like an AirPod would have, and it gives pretty good sound protection. But if I know I'm going to be using, like, I don't know, an SDS or something, or I don't know, cutting, I don't know, a lot with a grinder or in the concrete, or just something where I know that day I'm going to be using a lot of, you know, loud things or the table saw a lot, I'll switch to these foam tips, and it gives a lot more protection. I really like that they have the little spot there for both tips, so I never have to like carry another case or something. It's just right there, because I do personally, I like that I can switch between the two, because these are a little bit more comfortable, the rubber tips, but the foam definitely give you more hearing protection, and that's a big thing for me. For a long time, didn't really take it seriously on hearing protection. I didn't really care. I thought, if I just do this one time, it doesn't matter or whatever. But over time, and I know I'm going to be doing this for a while, so it's like I want to make sure I'm not having hearing loss at 35. So that's probably the main draw to these for me. Um, I would definitely consider the isotunes over these. Me personally, I haven't used them, so I can't say, but with what I've seen from them and these, I would probably pick isotunes. So one of the biggest things for me with these was the job site awareness, I think they call it, is like when you're using a driver and you're going to run a screw in, the sound is normal up until you start using that tool, and whether it's table saw, whatever. And that is really nice because I don't have to, press a button or do something to change right before I use a tool. It's just automatically there. And that has been very nice. And I still use it and it still works, even though the, left earbud, the audio doesn't work, but it still works. And so I wear them a lot just for that reason, for the hearing protection. And it is a really nice feature, and it definitely would bring me back to them if they made some changes to some other things. Another little thing that I do and don't like about them, kind of in between on it, is that this is a physical button. So like on AirPods, you just kind of pinch it. It's not an actual button, but with these, it's an actual button. And so when you put it in your ear and you push it, it's nice to feel it, but then you're pushing it into your ear that it's not hurting it, but it's not comfortable either. And so I like the feeling like with my finger that it's, I know I'm pressing it, but it's actually going into my ear a little bit. And it's not bad, but it's like, it's good. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of in the middle for me. It just isn't good or bad. So probably the last thing I would say about these, and the best thing about these, is the battery life. On my AirPods, they probably last on a full charge probably 4 hours, and then usually at like lunchtime I put them in the case and recharge them. But then they don't get back up to a full charge, and then it probably 3 hours later they go dead, and then for the last 2-3 hours of the day I don't have headphones. And that was actually a pretty big deal for me with the AirPods, is they just didn't last long enough, and I would have to charge the actual case, not just put the headphones in the case, but the actual case every night. And the Jobsite earbuds, I charge it maybe every 4 days. I don't know, the case, and the earbuds go almost all day long. I've done, it just depends. Like if it's an 8-hour day, they last all day. But if it's like 10 or 11, then they might, like in the last hour or so, go dead. But over lunch, most of the time I put them in there anyways, just because I don't need them. But they do, if I wanted to, they would last all day, and that is a big thing for me. So overall, I don't know which one. They both have pros and cons. If these worked, they would 100% be what I wear every day, all day. So I would be very curious with other people who have these, what their experience with these are. Just let me know, because things like the charging, I think would be, probably most people would have that issue. But like the calling and not being able to hear somebody, or they can't hear you, that issue right away, things like that, or like one earbud going out. I've seen a couple people say that, but I haven't talked to a lot of people that actually have these, so I'd be curious what other people think. Like I said, I think it's a great idea. Some really good things that, if they worked, it would be a great earbud. And it still is good, but it's just not great. And I need it to work like they say it will, or they advertise. So yeah, but other than that, love these, and I'll keep searching. Maybe I'll go to isotunes, who knows, but right now we're going to stick with AirPods.